Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Game Time. I'm Dexus and today we're talking about the early beta gameplay of the First Descendant. A paradoxical title if I've ever heard one. I mean, which came first, the First or the Descendant? The First Descendant is a looter shooter from Nexon utilizing the powerful new Unreal Engine 5 to provide crisp, beautiful environments, dynamic ray trace lighting, and stunning visual effects, which it then motion blurs into a hurricane of unintelligible smudges that you can't even Seriously though, this game looks great. The gameplay is engaging and the plotline is reasonably understandable. It does that awesome Destiny 2 thing where the backstory kind of starts from a situation that needs a backstory, if you know what I mean. Like, I get that a tyrannical alien race has pushed humanity to the brink of extinction, and that now a new legion of superpowered individuals has risen from the ashes to finally defend what's left of civilization, but like, the powers are apparently from forgotten ancestors, even though one of the characters specifically says that her power actually came from the alien bad guys, and one of the starter characters' special power is just having grenades. So yeah, bit confusing there. On top of that, it seems that the leader of the alien bad guys is now trying to nuke the fabric of reality using a series of universe level artifacts that look kind of like if the Allspark had acid reflux. And not even 10 minutes into the game, the main character is already hallucinating redheads. It's all very sci-fi Twilight Zone. But forget about that. You're not here for the lore. You're not here for the convoluted justifications as for why there are 11 miniguns sticking out of this mountain, and you're certainly not here for Seneca and his magic fidget toys. No, you are here for the shooting things. Yeah. There are 9 different descendants, and one that's the same. You start off with your 3 starter Pokemon, and eventually you're able to unlock the rest by completing the storyline, unlocking various repeatable challenge missions that have a percentage chance of rewarding you a funny box with rounded edges that you can then take into endgame boss fights called Void Intercept battles, where you have a percentage chance to convert the funny box with rounded edges into one of 6 funny boxes with sharp edges. Once you have enough of the correct kinds of those, you can bring them to the nice lady and have her spend 4 real-time hours to do research, which then unlocks one of 4 small machine parts. You repeat this process until you have all 4, and then the nice lady can take those parts and spend 8 hours to do research, and that unlocks the character. You know, or you can spend the premium currency and buy them in like 30 seconds. Each descendant has 4 different abilities that make up their kit. These abilities can range from throwing special grenades to bubble shields, increasing movement speed, to vampirism. Ice, fire, and poison all make a showing. There are units that have special resources that are collected in different ways, and each character brings a new experience and style of gameplay to the table. Every character can use every kind of weapon, but some kits lean heavily in favor of one particular weapon type or another. I strongly recommend that you do your due diligence and check out character review videos online before you get started, in order to make a beeline for the character that you find the most appealing. I'm not saying that any one character is necessarily better objectively than the others, but I mean, just saying, Bunny is fun, okay? Bunny is one of the first characters whose unlock items become available along the main quest line, and in my opinion, she is absolutely cracked, okay? Unlike most descendants, almost all of her damage comes from her skills, rather than using guns. All her skills put out big damage, and she can blast around the map at hyperspeed. For a game where you're constantly fighting waves of clumped up enemies and collecting what they drop, having a character that can get up close and personal, nuke them all to hell, and then just move on, mwah, it's the perfect playstyle. And if you ever run into someone who doesn't just immediately keel over and die from the barrage of AoE damage Bunny puts out, her ultimate skill is a giant laser. And y'all know how much I love lasers. Even if you aren't interested in maining Bunny, I highly recommend that you unlock her, as she's one of the first characters whose unlocked materials become available, and she'll let you farm for resources for the other descendants way faster. Obviously, her whole kit revolves around being fast and hitting hard. Once you've picked a character, you'll need to design a build to complement the skill set. This is done with a combination of 3 different things: weapons, stat boosters, and runes. Which weapons you choose is very open-ended. Every weapon in the game will kill stuff, and almost all of them are very fun to use. You've got the standard machine guns, pistols, and sniper rifles, but there are also beam rifles and rocket launchers to pick from. There are 4 different ammo types and 3 gun slots that you have quick access to. You generally don't want to have 3 guns that all use the same ammo type, but other than that, pretty much any combination is viable. I don't know how these 2 guns use the same ammo type, but hey, it's science! Or magic? I'm not actually sure. Stat boosters are 4 different items that just provide static boosts to different defensive stats like HP, shields, and, well, defense. For these, I just picked the highest number and moved on, not gonna lie. Runes, on the other hand. Oh boy. There are about 50 squintillion different runes, and they all look very similar when you start playing. These runes are split into 6 different classes, 3 different tiers, 5 different types, and up to 10 different levels. Yeah, it's awesome. You collect runes as loot during missions. You can dismantle your unused runes for Kypothium, awesome currency name by the way, and then use your Kypothium to level up your runes and increase your stat boosts. The primary long-term grind in the First Descendant is the slow crawl towards increasing your rune capacity. This is a limit on how many runes your character can use. Each rune has a capacity value that increases when you level it up. This means that a higher rune capacity directly increases how powerful you can be. There are a number of different ways to increase your rune capacity, all of which require extensive grinding and continuous work. But once you've completed those tasks, your descendant can become a truly devastating force. Once you have your character and you've made your build, it's time to get some friends. Hey there, man. You want to play some First Descendant?
Who is this?
Well, strangers will do. When you leave the main hub area and go out into the wider world, each area acts like its own little server that can hold up to 4 different players. Players can join up with each other and help to complete the questline and defeat the enemy together. Having a complementary set of support, DPS, and control type teammates can enhance the capabilities of the whole group. Or you can just run 3 bunnies and be hilarious and insane. Each area is set up kind of like a golf course of missions, each one leading on to the next. But after you've cleared them the first time, you can go back and replay them in any order that you like. Each mission can be split into 3 different categories: defeating the enemies, destroy something the enemies are guarding, or guard something the enemies are destroying. That's it. I see people complaining about the repetitive nature of the missions, and while I'd love to be on their side, I'm just not. The guns feel satisfying and impactful, the enemies have a good variance in their abilities and design, the settings are all detailed, and while they do feel super dead when there isn't an active mission going on, they're still fun to explore and visually very appealing. And above everything, the skills and abilities of each descendant are gloriously empowering. I mean, a giant laser! Oh my god. If there was one thing I would like tweaked in the First Descendant, it would be the movement. The environments in game can be quite varied, often rough terrain, and the inclusion of the grappling hook mechanic gives the game some excellent verticality. However, the character's ability to handle some of this rough terrain can be lacking. You can get stuck on pretty small bumps in the landscape, and while the grapple is decent, its halt to momentum of the character is quite distinct, and there's no grabbing onto a ledge or climbing mechanic to catch you if you happen to grapple to a spot slightly too low. There's a double jump mechanic that you can use to help offset this problem, but I've found that sometimes it just doesn't work. At least there's no fall damage. All in all, I am very excited to see how the First Descendant turns out when it gets released. The current release date is unknown, likely because they're taking the beta test results into consideration, but the speculation is that the First Descendant will be released as a free-to-play title in early 2023. I hope you enjoyed my review. Remember to like and subscribe, or I will take your First Descendant.